Mm. Delicious. Just had some chips and drinking some coffee. And this old prune's gonna have some prune juice. Oh, I'm sorry. This is my baby, Precious. Dun 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 dun. But anyway, oh, you just want another potato chip. That's what you want. You want a potato chip. You want another potato chip, girl? Here you go. All right, one for you, and one for the big boy. Hold on. There you go. All right, back up. Don't take his chip. Don't take his chip. He's eating both of them. All right, where were we? Oh yeah. Here, sit back. You can sit right here and watch Danny do the video. All right. I guess it's rant and rave time. I'm a little bit better off. I'm a little bit not so upset and everything from the other day. But I still want to make a rant and rave video. Whenever I do my videos, you know, you always notice I'm always saying, welcome to the world of pride. And that's, you know, and just like, you know, this is my head, you know, and this is the world. Let's say this is the world. Everywhere on that world is a person, you know, and those people on that planet named the world, you know, the planet Earth, whatever, they all have an obligation to each other and to themselves to live amongst all the other people on this planet as a so-called civilized individual. You know, we're all here for the same reason, to live. You know, some people are greedy, some people are stingy, some people are idiots, some people are, you know, evil, some people are good. You know, I wish all of us were good and Christian and all that stuff, you know, because then everybody would live the same way. We'd all live in harmony. Nobody would be a hater, nobody would be, you know, a fighter, nobody would be a, you know, whatever. Everybody would be the same way. That'd be great. You know, and pride basically is the pride that you have inside of you. You know, the pride that shows who you are. You know, you have some people that don't care what other people think about them. If they want to go out and scratch their butt in public, you know, and wear their underwear hanging out of their pants, you know, and they want to, you know, fart in public, you know, and if they want to go out and pick their nose in public, you know, they want to do all this stuff, you know, in public that the rest of us would cringe at if we did that. You know, we couldn't stand the thought of doing that in public because we have manners, we have morals, we have pride in our life, in our well-being. You know, we have a house. You know, if you rent it, doesn't matter. If you live with your family, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you own it. You know, it's the residence you live in. You know, and hopefully you have pride and you keep it clean. You keep it neat. You keep it, you know, up to par when you can afford it. You know, you don't have beer bottles laying all over the floor. You don't have, you know, newspapers all in the yard sprawled all over the place. You know, you have a clean yard, a clean house. You know, when it comes to your job, you know, you're one of these people that care about your job, that cares about your well-being, your personality, your pride and your workmanship. You know, you go out of your way to, you know, you're not going out of your way to kiss ass to do a really good job at the job, you know, to kiss ass for the boss. You know, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. it's like the old saying goes, what would Jesus do? Would Jesus live in a house of filth? Would Jesus, go out in public and make a scene in front of everybody? Would they, have an attitude in around everybody? Would they, not care about themselves, that their fellow individual? Would they, when they go to work, are they going to lay around and slack off all day and not do a dang thing? Or are they going to get out there and do something? Are they going to work? Are they going to make a living the honest way? They have that old commercial, what was that company? I think it was, boy, I can't remember the company right now. I know what the company is. It's, I think it starts with an S. I'll remember it as I'm probably talking about it. But it was like an old commercial back in the 70s or 80s. And it's like, we make money the right way. We earn it. We don't sit there and slack off and let somebody else do our work and then we get paid for it and take the credit. No, we get out there and we do our own work. We do our own job. We want people to be happy, pleased with our performance. They want people to say, boy, I want to be like him, or boy, like when I used to work as a waiter in restaurants, I used to do the best job I could possibly do. I would make sure that the customer's table was clean before they sat down. I'd make sure that, everything was stocked, all the dishes were washed, that I handed to them, I would make sure that when their glass was almost empty, I would fill it back up. If they needed more coffee, I would make sure that it was full. I would make sure that I didn't have to ask if they wanted cream and sugar. I would have the cream and sugar with me, and I'd say, would you like cream and sugar? Oh, okay, yes, sir, I'll get that for you. Would you need a steak knife, or would you need, whatever, is there anything I could possibly get for you, anything on the buffet that, doesn't taste good, I can go ahead and make a comment about it. If it's a little tough, I'll tell the chef about it. Maybe he can get you a piece that's not so tough. I would do everything I could to make sure their stay with us was wonderful. It wouldn't matter if I was in the restaurant business. It wouldn't matter if I was at the hotel business. It wouldn't matter if I was in a record store or a Walmart. Whatever job you have, you do the best damn possible job you can do, because you want people to want to come back. Oh, it don't matter if one leaves, we'll just get two more. Yeah, they're going to go out and talk about you, and they might have more people that might not show up. You might have gotten 2 million customers instead of 2,000, because you gave them such bad service. You didn't care, and stuff like that. You gotta get that attitude in check. You gotta get your personality in check. Your hygiene, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you smell, everything. All that has to matter, And the same thing, outside of the job, outside of your home. You want things to be done. Like at home, you want people to come over. You don't want to have to be like, oh shit, I gotta clean up before I can let them over. Oh, hold on a second. No, I don't want to let you in right now because my house is dirty. No, if you did your job like you're supposed to as a home person, you would have already had your house clean. So when your friends come over unexpectedly, hey, come on in. Welcome to my house. It's clean. Oh, I'd like to have a drink. Yeah, I've got water. I've got, a beer if you want one. I've got some, tea. You have a variety of stuff. You never know who's going to drop by. You don't have to eat all that shit yourself. You buy a couple extra things and have them sit in the house for guests. You might have some friends, I remember in the old days, I used to have friends that would come by. And I knew what they liked to drink. I knew what they liked to snack on, their favorite snacks. their favorite drinks. I had one guy that was into Mellow Yellow. And I'd have a 6-pack or a 12-pack at all times in my house because I never knew when this guy was going to show up. He might come by once a week, or he might come by twice in a week, you know. And when we go to play games, or we were you know, talking and we're watching some TV or videos or something, because we used to have MTV and VH1 where we used to watch music videos together. You know, that was fun back in the day, you know. And I knew his favorite snack was granola bars because he was a health nut. You know, wasn't really a health nut with Mellow Yellow, but you know, he liked granola bars. That was one of his things. He rode a bicycle and he liked to have, you know, whatever. And he knew that I would buy him the Mellow Yellow because he wasn't allowed to have Mellow Yellow at home because his parents would be like, oh, no, you're going to have good nutritious stuff here. That's why he was used to eating granola bars. It had to be his favorite thing. But I would buy him different kinds so he could try them once in a while and be like, dang, I didn't know they made this. Yeah, it just came out, you know. But, you know, you have things at home you have to do. And then when you go out in public, you want people to respect you. They want people to say, man, look at that. That guy was so nice. He helped that lady, you know, take her groceries out to her car for her. Look at that lady. That lady was so nice. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me get that for you, you know, pick it up for you. Or let me, you know, oh, I don't really need that. If your son really wants that, you know, and since it's the last one, you can have it. I'll get something else, you know. Are you sure? Yeah, I want your son to be happy, you know. You know, have a good attitude, great personality, you know, be full of life, you know, love in life, you know, not as hate and attitudes and all this shit we have out there today, you know. Have pride in yourself. You want people to respect you. You want people to think about you as a human being, not as some bitch or asshole or dick or whatever you want to be called if you into that kind of shit. You know? And be courteous. I mean, when you go out, drive normal. Don't be a road rage. Don't sit there and cut in front of somebody just because you can. Don't pull off quick in a rush because you think you can. You know, I mean, you got things to do, and so, and you raise your family a certain way. Your children, your husband and wife, you treat each other a certain way. You raise your children a certain way. You raise your animals a certain way. You show them love and attention and everything, and you give your children attention and love. But you let them know their place. You know, they have chores, they have responsibilities in the house, they have a certain way they're supposed to act when they're out in public. Because you have an image to uphold, not only for yourself, but for your children. You know? And if you're just going to sit there and, like the other day, we were at the dentist. I had my son and my woman with me, and we were sitting there patiently waiting for our turn to go and, you know, get my son to go in and get his teeth cleaned or whatever. And he sat over there, nice and courteous, kept his mouth, you know, his voice down. He and his mom carried on a civilized conversation. They, you know, listened to their telephone with it down so nobody else could hear it but them. You know, they both have earphones, so they wouldn't disturb anybody else in the place. And then there was some kids. There was like one family had some kids. I don't know where their family was, their parents or whatever it was, but there was 2 kids sitting over here. And then there was a girl and boy that was sitting on the other side of us, or across from them where they were standing. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, hopefully they're good, you know, clean, nice, polite, obedient children, you know, because, you know, we raised ours to be nice and obedient and polite and all that stuff, you know. And next thing I know, These kids are throwing toys across the room, yelling and screaming and jumping up in the chairs and you know, just acting like they have no morals, no manners, no, you know, whatever. And the mother is over here of the boy and girl just, yeah, okay, calm down. All right, don't throw it at anybody. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Don't you have any class? Don't you have any you know, any sophistication in your life? Don't you have any, you know, care what other people think about you? Oh, well, probably everybody else that was probably there, except maybe one or two like ourselves that knew what it was like to be in public and live and you know, get along in the civilization with knowing how to do our shit, you know, how to you know, be when you're out there in public. You don't jump around and scream and holler and throw shit. No, you get up there and you stay quiet, you stay patient, wait for the doctor. I mean, it's not a toy, it's not a playground. This is a business, a place where you go get your teeth cleaned. It's not a place to play. You don't bring a baseball glove in and a baseball bat and start hitting the bat and ball around and I got it, throw me the ball, throw me the football, you know. This isn't outside. You keep your inside voices inside and your outside voices outside. And these kids just going all over the place. And other people probably sitting over there going, yeah, look at that, they're having fun. You know, yeah, you can go over there and play with them if you want to. Yeah, go out and scream and holler and do what they, yeah, you know, they get away with it. So you go ahead and do it, you know. Are you serious? It's crazy out there in this world today. You know, I go to work. There's maybe, I'd say a handful at the most. They actually know what it means to work. They know what it means to... Dog keeps bumping up against the camera. You know, I made a comment one time on my video when somebody else was watching, and she don't watch anymore because I cut her off because I didn't feel like having her whine and pout anymore. But I was talking about, you know, I wish that there was more people like me at my job that knew how to work. And she came to work and she was like, why would you say that about me? Why would you say that about me? I work. Sure, I don't do all the extra stuff because that's not my job. That's not, you know, I don't get paid to do that extra stuff. I'm not going to bust my ass to do a good job when nobody else does it. Yeah, you're just as bad as everybody else. I go to my job every day at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, 5 days a week. You know, every day that I go into work, those 5 days, I go in at 4 o'clock in the morning. I clock in. I fill up water in the steam tables. I turn the steam tables on. I turn all the ovens on. I wrap up food that came out of the oven that we cooked during the night. I put that in the right spots. I get all the food that I'm supposed to cook. I cook that during the day. You know, if we have the truck come in and we got meat that needs to be seasoned, you know, I season it. You know, if there's some food that needs to be put away, I put it away. I put the trucks away. 2 days a week, 3 days a week, I put the truck away. You know, even when I get ready to leave, we have the paper truck. I sometimes go out there and help put that away. And there's other people that do help out, but I mean, they just don't go the extra level. They don't go the extra mile. You know, they just do enough to get by. You know, there's some people at the job that push off their responsibilities on somebody else just because they can. You know, I don't, you know, and I had somebody told me one time, why do you do so much? Why, you know, if you need help, I don't ask for people's help because I know I can do the job and I can do more than the job. I do my job and then I'm helping other people out that need help, either because they don't want to do it or they can't keep up because they're doing other stuff instead of doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they fall behind, or they have this idea that, hey, I'm gonna take my time, and I'll do what I want to do when I want to do it and stuff like that. And so it puts a lot more burden on some of the people like myself that are actually doing their job 100% like they're supposed to be doing. I may not be the greatest cook. I may not be the greatest prepper. I may not be the best dishwasher. There may be other people up there that maybe do better washing dishes than I do. There might be somebody that might prep a little bit better than I do. There might be somebody that knows how to cook better than I do. But overall, I put my whole pride into it, my whole feeling into it. I don't cut corners. I don't try to get out of doing something or take my time. I can make a roll of hamburger about this big. I can put the ingredients in it that we put in it. I can patty them all up, measure them, weigh them, whatever. I can put them on trays. And I can get one of those done in less than, if I'm not doing anything else, at the time, I can probably do that in 10 minutes or less. Whereas some people take maybe an hour just because they don't feel like rushing. But I'm always running around doing what I can because I want to get the shit done quick and get it out of the way, because there I am kissing somebody's ass, trying to show off, blah, blah, blah. No. I let this person know that I'm busting my butt because I'm trying to not only make a good impression, but I'm also doing it because what would Jesus do? Would Jesus sit around on his butt? You know what Jesus was doing when he was before the age of 12? Before the age of 33? You don't know what he was doing after, from 12 to 33. You don't know. He was with his father in the church. But before he went into the church, he was out there helping his father build tables and furniture and tools and stuff like that, making wood. He was a carpenter. He didn't have to have somebody tell him to get to work. He didn't have somebody to tell him to get up. He didn't have somebody to tell him, when to smoke a cigarette or when to watch a YouTube video or when he got his work done first, and then he would help other people. Like he'd help his mom, he'd help his dad, he'd go out and help the neighbors if they needed help. He went out of his way to do whatever he could because he cared about people. He loved people. He wanted to, he wanted people to love him. I don't care if people hate me. I'm a Christian, and the Bible says that Christians will be persecuted. And I know that people hate me, and they're always trying to cause me grief. They're always trying to get me in trouble. They're always throwing me under the bus. They always try to, put extra work onto me because they hate me. Or they can't stand me because I'm not like them. I don't sit back and chill and not do a thing. I try to clean every day if I can. I do the best prepping job I can. I do the best cooking job I can. I may not be perfect, but with everything I'm doing, I had one guy the other day, last week or whatever, said, why don't you do this first, and then when you get that done, then do this, and when you get that done, then do this. It's because I got so many things that I have to do I have to, not only do I have to cook in the morning when I'm there on days that we have breakfast, not only do I have to make sure that if the truck comes in, I'm putting the truck away. You know, I have to put everything in the right place. You know, people go into the refrigerator and the freezer, and what they do is they take boxes and they rip them open, and then it's just like that. And then the next person comes in and has to move this crap out of the way and move all the bag, everything, just to get what's in the package. I go in there, I cut the box tops off, I pull the bags around the outside, so that way next person comes in, boom. You don't have to sit there and fight with the box. You don't have to open up another box because I've already opened it for them. I'm helping everybody out by making their jobs easier. I cleaned the steam table out one time, and it hasn't been cleaned since. It's because I cared about these people enough to show them, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. You know, walls, ceilings, garbage cans. I can do it. Why can't the rest of you do it? It's just common sense. Well, that sounded like my woman's home. But anyway, you know, let's get some of that pride back in our lives. That love for each other. You know, that desire to do the best job you can with the abilities you have. And quit using excuses. Well, that's not my job. Or, it's not my kids. You know, they're my kids. I can let them go out and do whatever they want. Yeah. If you sat there and you gave your kid $20 and said, get the hell out of the house, and they decide to sell, buy weed with that, or crack with that, or buy beer with that, you're just going to say, well, at least they're out of my hair. I don't have to deal with them. So, yeah, I don't care what they do. You know, if they're doing bad shit, you know, you don't want them, people to come back and look at you. But, of course, you probably don't give a crap. That's the difference between you and me. I raised my daughter when she was with me, even though I spanked her one time to punish her. And she moved, and I smacked her on her back instead of on her butt because she moved up like that or moved out of the way, and I ended up hitting her in the wrong spot. And I get my child taken away. But you have these people that are running around, letting their children just jump all over the place in doctors' offices and scream and holler and throw shit and almost hit people with it. Who's doing the most abuse to their children? Me? Because I was trying to raise them the right way? Or these people that don't give a shit and just let them do whatever they do, and when they grow up they're going to be just as worthless or lazy or sorry or have no love, no care, no desire, no pride, nothing in their life. But anyway, that's my video. Y'all have a awesome day and a perfect tomorrow. We'll catch you at the Scratching Post where we can meow or arf. And I don't do catnip, you know. I like to lay on catnip, but I'd never do it because, you know, it makes me paranoid. I start seeing shit and hearing things. But anyway, that's our video. Bye.